Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Christina Maria. So today I'm going to be following a tutorial on the Hourglass YouTube channel by Rosie Huntington Whitetly, and she did a beautiful look using the Hourglass sculpture palette from their holiday 2020 collection, and I'm going to be following step by step what she does and just seeing what I think about the look that is achieved. I will be reviewing the palette as well afterwards, what I think of it. It's the first time I've ever used it. Do I think it's worth it? Is it worth the money? Let's get into the tutorial. So I'm just going to be focusing on the sculpture palette, so I don't actually have any of the other stuff that she's using, so we're going to be focusing on that part of the tutorial. Okay, so I've got my base on, I've got some concealer on, I've also done my eyes and my eyebrows, so everything is all ready to go, and we're now ready for the magical palette. So this is what it looks like, the packaging on the outside, and then these are the gorgeous colours that we have inside. So I'm now going to start playing Rosie's tutorial and I'm going to try and follow along.
I'm going to use the Ambient Lighting Edit Sculpture Palette with 3 exclusive shades in here. So starting off with the diffused light, I'm just going to go underneath my eyes to brighten up.
Okay, so Rosie has gone in with this shade here, which is the, like she just said, the diffused light. And that is going to go underneath the eyes. So I haven't used this palette at all yet. So this is all complete first impressions. Ooh. Okay, I really like that. I can see like a really diffused, like brightening effect under my eyes already. It's really finely milled. It's definitely not too heavy. So far, so good.
Next step, I'm going to use the dim light all over finishing powder, and it's really light enough that I can apply it all over my face.
So next, Rosie went in with dim light all over the face, which is this one here. Okay, so I definitely feel like this is a setting powder for all over the face, but it's got like some really pretty light reflecting particles. It's definitely nothing too heavy at all. So I feel like this is actually perfect for setting my BB cream, and it really doesn't over dry my skin. I have quite dry, dehydrated skin, and I'm often really scared of powders. So I have to say it's given me a really nice all over glow. I'm just going to apply a little bit more to the forehead.
Is a new exclusive bronzer, and I'm going to go right into the cheekbone area first, and using little circular buffing motions, and I'm going to take that up into the temples, and then I'm going to take it down onto the jawline, and then to finish up, my favorite tip with bronzer is just to pop a little bit into the socket of my eye.
Okay, so I actually really like that. I use that trick too, where I like to put some bronzer in the eye. So going in with the bronzer right here. I'm hoping it's not going to be too dark for me, because as you can see I'm pretty pale, but let's see. Oh no, that's actually a really beautiful colour. Yeah, that's actually really lovely. Sometimes I like to pat bronzer onto the skin first, and then after I've patted it in, I then like to blend it up into the ear as well. And then we could see that Rosie took it up her temples. It's clung a little bit to some dry areas that I have on my forehead, but I'm hoping that it will blend out. You know, that's actually blending out quite nicely. Then I saw she took it also down onto her jawline. So So I really love this bronzer. I feel that it's absolutely perfect for me because it has kind of contoured my face as well in literally the space of like 60 seconds without me having to do anything elaborate. It looks to me like it has some light reflecting particles in it, just like looking down, having a little look. So if you look at it again here in the palette, I feel like it does look like it has light reflecting particles in it and on the skin, kind of like as you move around, like it does catch the light, and I just think it's actually so beautiful. I'm not too sure how this would work for somebody who has slightly darker skin tone than me, but if you're kind of fair to medium, I would say that this bronzer is definitely like a good colour for you. So Rosie also applied some of the bronzer to her eye in the socket. I actually love doing this with bronzers, and also when I contour, I think it really does like marry up the face really nicely. And I can tell you that the shade does work for this, because sometimes shades can be like just a little bit too red for it. It is actually the perfect bronzer to do this with. Great, so now moving on to the blusher.
I'm going to go into my blush. I'm going to use the Vibrant Flush colour here in the middle. This is an exclusive shade to the palette. This has like a strobe-like effect to it. And you can see already here the strobe effect that this blush gives. Almost gives a sort of wet and a glistening look, which I love.
Okay, so there's two blushes in the Sculpt palette. There's this one here and then there's this one here. So Rosie has gone in with this one, which I believe is called Strobe Blush, but you've also got Mood Exposure. So I'm going to use the one that she used because it's exciting me, the colour. So this is Strobe Blush. I'm also going to use that patting motion that I said I used before. So I find this patting technique is really good if you have dry skin, because sometimes powder products and powder blushes can just like stick to dry patches on your skin. This is a really beautiful colour. So as you can see, like it really does catch the light as you move your face around, and it gives that beautiful like flushed, beautiful flushed look. Again, beautiful. I know I keep saying that, but I'm just really impressed. Like it has got, I almost feel like it has a bit of a highlight in it, so I can see this kind of like area here looks somewhat highlighted, and I love the shade. Like this is such a beautiful, like gives you kind of youth glow, kind of just brightens the face, makes you look really awake even if you're not.
To finish up with my Complexion Powders, I'm going to use the Glistening Strobe Light Powder here, and I'm just going to apply this to the top of my cheekbones, giving that beautiful sort of glistening highlighted look.
Okay, so now I'm actually quite excited about this. I'm going to go in with the highlighter. That is really beautiful. That is a really kind of like, gives you a glistening lip from within, I would say, without being glittery. I'm kind of over the glittery highlights, so this is definitely up my street. I'm just going to put a little bit here, just on the end of the brow bone, just to sort of marry them up. I feel like this highlighter is also really buildable, so you kind of can't overdo it, which is brilliant.
I'm going to use the bronzer, and I'm going to take this underneath my eye, just using little smudgy back and forth motions.
Okay, so it looks like Rosie also applies the bronzer to the bottom of her eye. So I've already done my eyes, and I've already got mascara on and everything, but that's fine, we can just, you know, get in there. Again, I think this is the perfect bronzy shade to do this with, because it's not too harsh, and it just, as you can see, it just marries the eyes with the cheeks and the rest of the face like together. It gives it like a kind of really beautiful uniform look. She kind of really brought it up into the inner corner, which I was surprised by, but I'm gonna try that. Love it. This is literally one of my most favorite looks that I've done in like a long time. So something that Rosie didn't do that I want to try is to take the highlighter and just to apply that to the inner corner of the eye. Because it's really subtle, like it's not too much. I just feel like it gives the eye just like a little pop. And that is the finished look, guys. I can't tell you how much I love it. I just love it, love it, love it. Let's talk about my final thoughts on the Hourglass Sculpture new Holiday 2020 palette. So first of all, let's talk about the price, because this palette is not cheap. This palette is £81 in the UK, but you have to think of it and that you're getting 6 shades. You're getting an all over powder, you're getting an under eye setting powder, you're getting a highlighter, you're getting 2 blushes and a bronzer. So if you were to buy all that separately, especially from Hourglass, I mean, that would be a lot of coin. Do I think it's worth the price? I do think it's worth the price, and I hate myself for thinking that. Like, okay, let's talk practically here for a second. Think about it. This look you could wear during the day. You can actually put it together super quickly as well. So I have to say, like, all in all, like, my entire face took about 15 minutes. That's including everything I did off camera. So, you know, foundation, concealer, brows, eye makeup, and then using this palette and having it all like in the one place, just like ready to go as well, is fantastic. I think it's totally like a gorgeous, like natural but glam look to wear to dinner as well. Now, if we're to talk about the packaging as well, this is so much more beautiful than the one they had last year for their Christmas collection. I think it was their Christmas collection, but it was the one that had the see-through, it was the ghost themed one. I see where they were going with that, but I feel like this is more, to me, typical, luxurious, gorgeous Hourglass. It makes you feel like, you know, you've got something special. I love the golden tone packaging. I love how it has this mirror inside. The only thing I have to say, and it might be my technique of how I used it, but I feel like there's a lot of fallout, as in, especially I can tell from the blush more than anything because of the colour. There's quite a bit of fallout within the palette, but I think that's pretty normal, to be honest. It doesn't bother me like at all whatsoever. But if that's something that would really bother you, in fact, I'm going to show you more of a close-up so that you know what I mean. So after following Rosie Huntington Whiteley's tutorial with the beautiful Hourglass sculpture palette, would I recommend it? Yes, I would. Do I love the look? Yes, I do. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I have plenty more coming to my channel, and I also have a load of stuff up there that you might find interesting.